Hey traders, CN Trader here. Um, Still struggling with my voice a little bit, recuperating, so please forgive the raspiness. But I wanted to put this video out to an opportunity that is developing currently. It's a potential opportunity that may give us an opportunity for 300 or so pips, so we'll see, maybe even more. But I'm looking at the EurCad here, and we're going to actually go up to the weekly first, and we'll do some top-down analysis. And you notice I have some lines here, some areas that have been important over the last 20 years or so. And you can see if we go back down to 1999 down here, you see 1999, you could see that these areas had some battles. And we come over here too, you can see the structure right here. You can see the structure, price comes in, bounces out, comes down in, bounces out, finally gets through, comes back and tests the exact same structure, sells off, comes back up through, tests, up, and you see all these battles that are happening in this area right here. And we had more recently in 2013, we have this one where price came all the way down here. There was a nice little shark pattern that had developed, and it sold off nicely, comes back up into the area, sells off, comes back up, does a little fake breakout right here. And you could see if I even if I zoom in that, you could see really clearly, again on the weekly, you see the breakout, and then it makes a higher high, and then this sells off. Beautiful red candle, just completely envelops that all that price action that was there. And then we come back up to it right here, slightly up to it, right where we came here. It sells off, and then again another attempt, and sells off, unable to close above that area, and you can see the sell-off. So we're in an important area on a weekly chart that goes back many years. So we want to kind of see what's going on. The first thing I want to talk about is the weekly, and the potential of where this can go if it continues to break out of this area. And you can see I have a little line here, and that comes right up into these areas where we saw some previous selling. Again, if we go left, we could see just the inability to close above this area or to stay above this area, and a lot of supply that came in and just sold off, and came up here, and it was going to break out for a couple weeks and came right back down. So if I go ahead and measure this swing high here, and we come down to this swing low, you're going to see we come up right up to a 618, right into our area. Right? And then, so we can, right off the bat, and we could draw the pattern here, X to A to B, and then we do another one here, B to C, and then our C, look at where our line comes in, exactly at that 786. Look how beautiful that is. Now we didn't quite make it up there, we got to a 707, but there's still time. This is a weekly chart. So they do have a potential for coming up here. If we can get out of this area, we have a potential for coming up into this area. And again, if we look at the distance here, just to get to the B portion, that's 754 pips right there. All right. So now the risk reward, if you're just going for 74 pips, isn't the greatest risk reward, especially if people are having their stop at the X, which again I never recommend. But I like to look at price behavior. Price behavior. What does price do when it gets up here? How is it acting when it gets up here for an opportunity to go short, to increase your probability, your odds of making bank, or being able to pick, take bank out of this potential move that happens, whether it goes to here or it goes to here, depending on where it goes. All right, so that's what's going on, kind of like on a big picture. But we also have something else that's developed, and it shows on a weekly nicely. So we're going to leave it on the weekly, but it's also showing on daily. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get this out of here just to clean it up a little bit here. And we're going to take this Fibonacci and we're going to use it down over here. And we're going to measure this swing high. And we're going to come down over here to the swing low here. And you can see we come right up to an 618 so nicely. And we sell off about 50%. All right, so now we have the potential X to A to B. I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. And we're going to come over here, B to C. And look at that, right into a 786 of prices, already slightly reacting to that. 786 in a Gartley. And if we measure that move and getting in here in this rough area, you're around a 386 pip a move. But we have a Gartley that's developed in this area. Very nice, 786. So the other thing we have is if I come over here and I measure this and I do an extension, you can see how nicely the 127 comes into that same area, into this zone between these two lines. Very nicely, 786, 127. So you have some Fibonacci confluence that's going on with some important levels on a weekly chart. And there's something else that's going on here that we want to pay attention to. It's a potential. If I just take this right here, this is a 50% retrace, right? So we're going to go ahead and you can see that right there, come into the 50, right? So we have a potential area up above that we may want to pay attention to. And you can see that's a 141 extension, and you can see right over here, we weren't able to close above this area. I'm going to go ahead and put a line there. We weren't able to close above this area. We actually gapped it open, went higher, and then it sold off into this area. So there's some pretty good supply if price continues to break out of this area that we could pay attention to. That's going on up here for an AB equals CD pattern. The other thing too is we have some confluence with the 886 up in that area. So if I go ahead and measure this, and we come right up in here, you can see we have our 886 that comes into that area. So you got a nice little potential sell zone that's also developing up in this area right in here that we want to pay attention to depending on how price behaves. If it can break out, if it doesn't give us the behavior to get involved here, maybe it'll give us the behavior to get involved in this area. Now I'm going to scroll down to a daily, and there's something that's developed on the daily that it's not the prettiest type of pattern that I've seen for these patterns, but it exists, and it's something that I really like. It's a pattern oftentimes that'll signal when a trend is actually coming to an end. And you can see we got a 1, 2, and 3 drives that comes in. Now it's not exactly, but it's very harmonic. You're off by a few pips, but you could see these moves. And the pullbacks are very similar too. They're spread out a little bit. This pullback took a little bit longer to develop before breaking out, but you could see we have a 1, 2, 3 right there, or A, B, C, and we get another one right here. A, B, C comes down, and we get another drive. So we got 3 drives that are coming out of here that give us some potential. And there's also something else that's going on here. We're going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to take this out here, remove some lines, and we're just going to go ahead and take this swing high to the swing low right here. And you can see we come to a 786. Okay, so right when I see 786 like that, I'm looking for a potential butterfly pattern that could be developing. All right, so you could see, I'm just going to minimize this a little bit, and you can see we come right up to where there's some ratio confluence 141, but we also have the 161 in this area here, so we can actually drop this down slightly, our sell zone. So we're going to do that. We'll go back up to the weekly, and you could drop this just slightly right here, and then we can zoom in, go to the daily. Oops, here we go. We're going to make this a little bit smaller, and you can see another pattern that's developing here. We're going to go ahead and change the color of it, but if I take that right there, I'll move that trend line. Let's get it out of the way for now. I go to triangle properties, I change this color, I'll just make it Dodge blue, whatever. And then we just go ahead and copy that. And you can see we come right down into this level here, and we can come right up into here for a nice little butterfly pattern. Anywhere really in this zone, butterfly pattern, it could be really anywhere in that zone. We'll go ahead and measure it from here, and you can see we have a 161 that comes into here. That matches up with our zone that we're in now, as well as this area here. We have some ratio confluence that's coming into a 4141. So we'll obviously want to pay attention to this area, and that's why I wanted to kind of come out with this video and show you guys what's going on. But on if it does go up a little higher, again, we want to be patient for price behavior to get involved in a trade. But if we do come up a little bit higher, we're going to be coming into this area here, and this area here is a 200. And I would really expect some selling to come in this area here, but I'd be watching very closely for behavior if we do get that. So that's it. That's the analysis on this EurCad. It gives us an opportunity to get involved potentially. We'll have to wait, be patient, be disciplined. So I hope you enjoyed. Have fun. Trade your plan. Make a great day. Do your own due diligence. And may we all make bank, game changing bank, the kind of bank that makes you just think and grow.